Good morning, Indira.
Good morning, teacher.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. We're gonna finish the WH questions. I'm gonna write here the next couple of samples with where. For example, where have you been since yesterday? Don't forget that the structure is like we saw yesterday. WH question, have or has, subject, verb, and complement. Okay? To answer this, it depends of the context. Depending of the context, I'm gonna use an answer, a proper answer. For example, I have been in Alaska since yesterday. We have to be careful with the prepositions of place or location or position. Depends of the context, we have to answer this. Other example. This is the other example. Where has the student stolen the notebook for 2 hours? And we can do this answer. In this case, it will be female. She has stolen the notebook at the library for 2 hours. Other example. Where have the cats eaten tuna since Tuesday? Tuna in Spanish means atún, right? Tuna. So I'm gonna answer, they have eaten tuna in my room since Tuesday. There we have the answer. Other. Where has the boy leaned up all the night? In present perfect, indeed, we can use these expressions. For example, all night, all morning, all afternoon, all day. Okay? To mean that the action lasts or has a during of that period of time. And I will answer this. He has cleaned up at the stadium all night. There we have the answer. Copy this. Tell me when you are ready.
Finish, teacher.
Okay. Let's wait for Luis a minute. Did you finish, Luis?
Oh yeah, the teacher, I finished.
Okay. So let's continue. And now we're gonna do examples with the question who. When we've got this question, we have to be careful because depends the auxiliary verb we are gonna put, we're gonna set here the answer that we have to do. For example, if I say, who has washed the dishes for 1 hour? I'm talking about a singular answer because it says who has, right? So the answer could be this. Tanya has washed dishes for 1 hour. Okay? And also I can use personal pronouns. But for these kinds of sentences, it's better to use a name or names or nouns. Other in the same way. Who has stuck more pieces more pieces since last Monday. And again, my subject will be singular. Claudia has stuck. And here, pay attention, we have to make a change of the quantifier because my answer is affirmative. So I'm gonna change more with many, many pieces for, sorry, since Monday. Don't forget that stuck is the past participle of speak, right? Be careful of that. Now, in plural, for example, who have caught a few burglars since yesterday? In this case, the answer will be in plural. I'm going to say the officers have caught a few burglars since yesterday. If you pay attention in this sentence, in this answer, I didn't change the quantifier because a few can't be used in affirmative and questions. Okay, that's the reason. Other example. You have baked a delicious cake for 2 minutes. And again, my answer will be in plural. Oscar and you have baked a delicious cake for for 2 minutes. There we have the answer. So practically, we have two forms of answering these kinds of questions. Or we answer in singular or in plural. Everything depends of the kind of construction I'm gonna write. If I say, who has, it's singular. The answer is singular. If I'm gonna say, who have, the answer, it's gonna be plural. So you have to pay attention of that. Copy this. Tell me when you're ready.
I finished, teacher.
Okay.
Finish, teacher.
All right. Let's continue. Now, pay attention. In present perfect, we always use time expressions like since, for, and etc. But to create a question about the period of time the action has happened, we don't have to say when, all right? We're gonna use a special time expression and a question to ask about it. In this case, the new question will be how long? So look here. If I say, how long have you studied math? Obviously, we have to answer with a time expression. All right? I can choose any of the time expressions that you know. So here I'm going to say, I have studied math for 3 hours. For 3 hours is the complete or the full answer of how long. Other. How long has the cleaner fixed the lights? And I'm going to say this answer. She has fixed the lights since the morning. Meaning that starting in the morning the action and until now she's still doing the action. Other. How long have the firemen rescued people? And I'm gonna say they have saved people for 5 years. This question is easy. You have only to pay attention. How long has the bird sung for us? And here I'm gonna say it has sung for us since 6 o'clock a.m. So at 6 o'clock a.m., the action started, and until now, the bird is still singing for us. In this case, I changed the word bird with the personal pronoun it, right? Don't forget that we have to do all time that kind of changing from the question to the answer, right? In order to be economical in the words and to not repeat the same subject that we have in the question. That's the reason. Copy this, please. Tell me when you're ready.
Finish, teacher.
Okay.
Finish, teacher.
Right. In order to keep going, now we have to know how to answer questions with how. Only the word how. For example, how have you made lunch since last week? Okay, as I told you before, if you remember, we have some forms to use and to answer the word how. One of them is with boy and a verb with ing. Look here. I have made the lunch by using the stove since last week. By and a word ends in ing. Don't forget that this union, this joint of words means that through this activity, by using its own activity, it's not a verb, I have made the lunch. Okay? This is the meaning of this. Other. How has the dog found the bone since yesterday? Again, I'm going to use the same formation to answer. Look, it has found the bone by digging on the ground since yesterday. Okay? When I say boy digging on the ground, means that through that activity, this dog has found the boy. Okay? Other. How have the doctors paid the debts for 2 months? Remember that there is another formation with boy. Boy plus a noun, okay, to answer these kinds of questions. Look here. They have paid the debts by an electronic transfer for 2 months. Okay? By electronic transfer. In this occasion, we're not using a word with ing, but we are using a noun and an adjective. When we say that by and a phrase like this, again, we are saying that the action is made through that or among that thing. that noun that I'm mentioning into the sentence. Okay, so don't forget, these are the two principal ways to answer the question how. We use boy plus a word ends in ing, or the other hand, we've got boy plus a noun. It depends the context of our answer. Copy this, please. Tell me when you're ready.
Finish, teacher.
Okay. Let's wait for Indira. Ira has internet problems. Let's continue. Finally, we've got the question why. Now, when we have this kind of question, we've got two options of answering. Okay? For example, why have you traveled to Alaska twice? Okay? As a time expression, we can use these kind of adverbs. Once, twice, three times, etc. I have two options. First, I can answer with the present perfect, keeping the same tense. So I can say, because I have had business, businesses there. Okay? Using present perfect. The other way is using simple present because we are gonna use the consequence, the effect that the action has had in my life. So I can say, because I like to visit that country. There we have another option. Okay? Simple present if you need to answer this. Other question. Why has Lena broken the lamps three times? So, options to choose the best answer. I can say, because she has wanted to do that action. Or using simple present, I can say, because she needs to change them fast. For example, it's an example. Maybe we can create another option more concerning or interesting, but it's an example. Other. Why have the owners laid the money on table for 2 minutes? And here we can use these options of answer. Don't forget that lay, the base form, it's the same as put. Okay, but it's better to say lay. Okay, so first option, because they have liked to do it, for example. Or because they have to pay us with that money. The answer or the best option of answering has to be really, really important, has to be really interesting and coherent. That's the reason we have to read first the question and then we have to choose the correct option of answer, right? Copy this, please.